again, attempts at world domination have been thwarted many times by the great Russian people, and now again we will protect our people and our values. Our enemies believe that they will not have to suffer the consequences of their actions, that there will be no ramifications, but that is not true. All the agreements that had been reached before on global security or agreements between governments are no longer respected or valued. Many of our former leaders actually listened to our Western enemies and decided to give up their weapons, their power, their everything. They listened to the lies and they believed them. And that led to what is now called a rules-based world order. What rules are we talking about? Who agreed on those rules that the West proclaim? These are all lies. These are all double standards and hypocrisy. They take us as fools, take us for fools, and Russia is a civilization of thousands of years, and we will not live according to someone else's rules. It is this so-called collective West that trampled on the principles of indivisibility of borders, and now it decides unilaterally who has the right for self-determination and who doesn't have that right. Why? What is the rationale for their decisions? Who gave them the right to decide all of that? Nobody knows that. This is why they were so enraged by the free choice of the people in Crimea, in Donetsk, in Lugansk, in Zaporozhye, in Kherson. They have no right to even talk about freedom of speech or democracy or self-determination of the peoples there. The Western elites deny not just international law and free rights, and they keep talking about apartheid. They divide the world into the host countries and the colonies, the vassals, the barbarians. They call these authoritarian regimes, they call them failed states and pariahs. But there's nothing new in that. The Western elite have been like that for hundreds of years. They have always been colonizers. They have been discriminating and dividing peoples into groups and dominating them. We will never accept this kind of nationalism and racism in Russia. We now see Russophobia and anti-Russian sentiment across the world spread by the West. And the West is convinced that its civilization, its neoliberal culture, is a template for the entire world to follow, and there are no other options, no other scenarios. They do not even wish to accept and repent for their own crimes of the past, their own historical crimes. They blame others for their own crimes. Take, for example, the period of colonial domination. In fact, it was back in the Middle Ages that the West started its colonial regimes. Then the genocide of the peoples of America, the plundering of India, of Africa, the wars of against China, the Opium Wars. What the West did was they made entire nations dependent on drugs and eliminating and genociding entire ethnic groups. They hunted people like animals. This goes against what we believe and treasure as human life. And we feel proud that it is our country in the 20th century that led the anti-colonialist movement, that allowed many countries to become free, to fight hunger and inequality, to overcome many of those challenges. And the Russophobia and the anti-Russian sentiment that we feel today is in many ways caused by the fact that we did not let our nation, our people, to become a colony. We defended others and we defended ourselves by creating a strong centralized state that developed itself, strengthened itself based on great moral values of great world religions and based on Russian culture and the Russian language. It is well known that there have been many plans at instigating interventions and launching interventions against Russia after 1917, during the First World War and during the Great Revolution. But by the end of the 20th century, the West was finally able to attack us. They called us friends. They called us partners, but they were actually treating us as a colony, as slaves. They plundered us and took our wealth, our money and our power. But now the people in Donetsk and Lugansk and Kherson and Zaporozhye finally decided to restore this great unity of our nation. Thank you. The Western nations for ages have been saying that they bring democracy and freedom to the world, but it's entirely the opposite. Instead of democracy, they enslave. Instead of freedom, they destroy. The Western world order is not free. It is hypocritical and full of lies. The US is the only nation in the world that used nuclear weapons twice, destroying the towns of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Let me remind you that together with the UK, the US during World War II annihilated Dresden, Hamburg, and Cologne, and that. There was no rationale behind that. There was no need to destroy with air bombardment these great cities. They wanted to do that to intimidate the Soviet Union. That was their only goal. The West left a horrible history in Vietnam where they used napalm and other horrible tactics. Remember the Republic of Korea and their actions there. They keep calling South Korea their own allies. What kind of allies are these? We know that many of the leaders of those countries that are perceived as allies of the West are being followed, and there are various devices used to listen to them and spy on them. And the leaders of these countries tolerate all that. And all of that is branded as transatlantic solidarity. And all of these horrible crimes that are being committed in the war zones are also excused. And all of that led to a great problem that has to do with migrant flows. People are fleeing their countries, going to Europe and elsewhere. There is a problem of food security. There's food, there's bread being and grain being exported from Ukraine and Russia. Where is that grain going? It is not going to the poorest countries on the world, as they say. Only 5% of that grain is going there. It is all based on lies. And the Western elites are using the tragedies of these people to strengthen themselves, to destroy sovereign countries. The same goes for Russia, for the identity. This actually concerns the identity of France, Germany, and many other countries. They keep... there are calls on imposing more and more sanctions against Russia, and the leaders of Europe concede to that. But they must realize that when they are deprived of Russian resources and Russian energy, they will suffer a heavy blow on their own industries. This is not just being subservient to the United States by Europe. This is a direct betrayal of their own people. In fact, what we saw recently was a direct diversion and direct attacks on the Nord Stream pipelines. In fact, they started destroying the energy infrastructure of Europe. Who profits from that? Well, those who profit from that are the ones who are responsible, are the ones who are the perpetrators. It is this regime.
So a Russian president addressing his country as he annexes 3 regions. We're keeping a close track on the developments. Let's move on and get you an exclusive story on the show this evening. Story coming in from Karnataka of an alleged case of forceful conversion. Now, according to the complainant here in Karnataka, he was allegedly beaten, force-fed, converted. The incident comes week after the Karnataka Legislative Assembly passed the anti-conversion bill. It's a very, very shocking version that's come forward, a video that is coming out for the first time. There is an FIR. Some of the facts are on record, hinting at a larger nexus of conversion. Take a look.
2 weeks after the Karnataka Legislative Assembly passed the anti-conversion bill, a case of alleged forceful conversion has come to light in Hubballi in Karnataka. As per the FIR, 12 people allegedly converted a 26-year-old man from Mandya to Islam and beat him up. According to the complainant, he was forcefully circumcised, made to eat beef, and even posed with weapons. The complainant narrated how he was taken to a mosque in Banashankari in Bengaluru by Thawar Rahman and another person when he approached them for financial assistance.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಶ್ರೀಧರ ಅಂತ, ಮಂಡ್ಯ ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಮದ್ದೂರು ತಾಲೂಕು ಕೊಪ್ಪ ಹೋಬಳಿ ಎಡವನಹಳ್ಳಿ ಗ್ರಾಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಗಂಗಾಧರ್ ಅನ್ನೋರ ಮಗ ನಾನು. ನಮ್ಮ ತಾಯಿ ಚಿಕ್ಕದ್ರಲ್ಲೇ ತೀರ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆ ರೀಸೆಂಟಾಗಿ ತೀರ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನನಗೆ ಜಮೀನು ನಮ್ಮ ದೊಡ್ಡಪ್ಪ ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಕೇಸ್ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತೇವೆ. ಕೇಸ್ ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಚಿಕ್ಕಪ್ಪರ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೈಬರ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಸೇರ್ಕೊತೀನಿ. ಅದಾದಮೇಲೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಕೊಪ್ಪದಲ್ಲಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಹೋಬಳಿಯಾದ ಕೊಪ್ಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಅತಾವರ್ ರೆಹಮಾನ್ ಬಾಯ್ ಅಂತ ಮುಸಲ್ಮಾನ್ ಸಾತಿ ಟೀ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಅವನು ನನ್ನ ಪರಿಚಯನೂ ಕೂಡ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ. ಪರಿಚಯ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅವನ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ನನ್ನ ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ, ಒಬ್ರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಬಾ, ಅವ್ರ ಕಡೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿಸ್ತೀನಿ, ತುಂಬ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಮದುವೆ ಇದೆ, ಅವರು ಮದುವೆ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಮಾತಾಡಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ ಒಂದು ಮದುವೆಗೆ. ಮದುವೆ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಫೀಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಲಿಯಾಸ್ ನಗರದಲ್ಲಿ, ಅವ್ರ ಕಡೆ ದಾಡಿಯೆಲ್ಲ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸುಮಾರು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಗುರುಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರು ನನಗೆ ಫುಲ್ಲು ಇಸ್ಲಾಂ ಹಂಗಿದೆ ಹಿಂಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಆಮಿಷಗಳನ್ನ ತೋರಿಸಿ ಹಂಗೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೋತೀವಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಮಗೆ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ವಾಶ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನನಗೆ ಇದು ಫುಲ್ಲು ಅವ್ರ ಕಡೆ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನನಗೇನು ತಿಳಿಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಷ್ಟು ಚೆಂದ ಇದೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಾನು ಫುಲ್ಲು ಅವ್ರ ಕಡೆ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತೀನಿ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಇಲಿಯಾಸ್ ನಗರದಲ್ಲಿ ಖಾಲಿದ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರು ಮತ್ತು ನದೀಮ್ ಮತ್ತು ನಯಾಜ್ ಪಾಷಾ ಅವ್ರ ಬಳಿ ಅವ್ರು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಇವನಿಗೆ ಕತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು, ನೋವು ಮುಸಲ್ಮಾನ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಅವರು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸದಿಂದ ನೋಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಕತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಕತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿಸಿ ಮಾಡೋ ದಿನದಿಂದ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಬೇಕು ಅಂದಾಗ, ಅಣ್ಣ ನನಗೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ದನಿಂದು ಮಟನ್ ಬೆಂದಿರೋದು ತಂದು ನನಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಣ್ಣ ನಂಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನನಗೆ ಧಮಕಿ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ. ರಿವಾಲ್ವರ್ ಇಟ್ಟು ನನ್ನ ಕೈಗೆ ರಿವಾಲ್ವರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಫೋಟೋ ತಗೊಂಡು ನೀನು ಏನಾದರೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಡೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬಲ್ಲಿ ನಿನ್ನ ಐಡಿಯಲ್ಲೇ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಟೆರರಿಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವ್ರದ್ದೇನು ಅಂತಂದರೆ 1.5 ತಿಂಗಳು ನನ್ನನ್ನು ತಿರುಪತಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಟೀಮ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾನೆಲ್ಲೂ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಹೋಗದಂತೆ ನನಗೆ ತಿರುಪತಿಗೆ ಕಲೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ನಮಾಜ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಬರೀ ಕುರಾನ್ನೇ ಓದಬೇಕು, ಕುರಾನ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾವ ದೇವರನ್ನು ನೀನು ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡೋಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಕಡೆ ತಿರುಗಿ ಕೂಡ ನೋಡೋಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಡ್ರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವ್ರು ನಯಾಜ್ ಪಾಷಾ ಅವರು 36 ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟಿಗೆ ಮಸೀದಿಗೆ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವ್ರು ತುಂಬಾ ಇಲ್ಲೀಗಲ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ತುಂಬ 50 ಜನನ್ನ ನವ್ ಮುಸಲ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಮಸೀದಿನಲ್ಲಿ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಕಡೆಗೂ ಹೇಳಿ ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ಹುಡುಗರು ಹುಡುಗಿರು ಕೆಲವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹುಡುಗಿರು ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೆಲವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹುಡುಗರು ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಮಗೆ ಹುಡುಗಿರು ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಹುಬ್ಳಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಹುಡುಗಿದು ಫುಲ್ಲು ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ನ ತೆಗೆದು ನನಗೆ ಅವರು ಸರಿ ಮೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನೀನು ಹೋಗು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನನಗೆ 5,000 ಅಮೌಂಟನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಕಳಿಸಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಹುಡ್ಕೋ ಸಮೀಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಥಳೀಯರು ನನಗೆ.
And while police fear a larger conversion racket, searches are underway in Kasabapet area, with police questioning a few people as part of the investigation. No arrests have been made yet.
He was also forced to pose with lethal weapons where the accused had taken pictures of him posing with the weapons. This comes on the backdrop of the anti-conversion bill which was passed by the Karnataka government in the assembly as well as the council too. Now this man has gone on to allege that it was not only him but 50 other people who were forcibly converted, and they were also given a target of converting 3 people each, and they would also be given money. He has also been forcibly circumcised, and the Bengaluru police now are investigating this particular case.
Telling you all about the Prime Minister's visit to Gujarat. Today it's been a 2-day visit of the Prime Minister ahead of the elections that are coming up as the BJP goes all out.
Amity faculty have filed over 1,600 patents. Yet another reason why Amity has been conferred with the National Intellectual Property Award by Government of India for being the top Indian academic institution for patents and commercialization.
In a shocking case of medical apathy coming to light from Punjab, poor women gave birth to a daughter in the corridor of the civil hospital in Pathankot on September 27th. This after doctors allegedly refused to carry out the delivery, citing various reasons.
एक इंक्वायरी मार्क कर दी है. इंक्वायरी भी मेरे जेडे असिस्टेंट कमिश्नर जनरल है एंड शी इज बीइंग अ लेडी एंड अ डॉक्टर आल्सो. सो उन्होंने क्या है कि सारे भी जितने भी उसके पॉइंट्स हैं पक्ष देखे जाए और मैनू डिटेल जाके मैनू इंक्वायरी करके दस्या जाए.
As per reports, the couple did not bring with them the mandatory reports, following which they could not go ahead with the delivery. The person who was shooting the video can also be heard alleging that the hospital officials refused to admit the pregnant patient. The incident has triggered massive outrage, with the AAP government drawing a lot of flack.
And here's what's making news in the country. Uttarakhand's Kotwar court has demanded the 3 accused, including Pulkitaria in the Ankita Bhandari murder case, to a 3-day police custody. Tensions arise in the Jamia Millia Islamia University as a shooting incident was reported post a quarrel early this morning. As per reports, one student was shot at, resulting in a head injury, and subsequent admission to the Holy Family Hospital post the fight between 2 groups. Crime team is investigating the matter. According to reports, 2 to 3 terrorists who were trapped in encounter operations in Shopian have managed to escape. Meanwhile, the encounter operations are said to be underway between the forces in Baramulla. BJP National President JP Nadda visited the Jagannath Temple in Puri this morning. He was accompanied by the Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan. Prime Minister Narendra Modi flagged off the new and upgraded version of the Vande Bharat Express from Gandhinagar as a part of his 2-day visit to his home state. The most awaited semi-high-speed train, Vande Bharat Express, is now ready to a commercial run. It will connect the state capitals of Gujarat and Maharashtra. Day after Gehlot opts out of the Congress presidential race, a decision on his continuation as the Rajasthan Chief Minister is still pending. The decision is yet to come in a day or 2 as per sources. A special CBI court in Bhopal convicted 5 people and sentenced them to 7 years of rigorous imprisonment in connection with the Vyapam case. The court also imposed a fine of rupees 10,000 to each convict, while their 2 co-accused were acquitted due to lack of solid evidence. A NEET aspiring girl alleged that her hostel staff member was secretly recording an obscene video of her, post which the member was arrested by the Kalyanpur police and investigation is still underway. A woman gives birth on a hospital floor after allegedly being denied admission into the labour room. Deputy Commissioner Faridkot Harbir Singh said that an inquiry has been ordered and necessary actions will be taken. Post the PFI ban by the centre on Wednesday, alert has been issued by the Home Department for today's prayers in Uttar Pradesh.
प्रधानमंत्री मोदी इस वक्त कार्यक्रम स्थल से बाहर पहुंचकर वहां खड़े हुए कुछ वार्तालाप करते हुए लोगों से
આસ્થાનું પ્રતીક એવી આ ધજાઓ સાથે જ માતાજીના સ્તોત્રનો પવિત્ર ઉચ્ચાર. આ વિશાળ જનમેદની હાથ ઊંચો કરીને આદરણીય પ્રધાનમંત્રીશ્રીના આગમનને વધાવી રહ્યા છે અને આદરણીય પ્રધાનમંત્રીશ્રી તેમના પ્રેમને, તેમના આદરને અને તેમના આતિથ્ય ભાવને, તેમના સત્કારને ઝીલી રહ્યા છે.
આપણા લાડીલા પ્રધાનમંત્રી મોદી સાહેબ આપણા બધાની વચ્ચે એ સભાની અંદર આપણા સૌનું અભિવાદન ઝીલી રહ્યા છે. બે હાથ ઊંચા કરીને આપણે બધા મોદી સાહેબનું અભિવાદન કરીએ. મા જગદંબાની સ્તુતિ ગાતા ગાતા.
According to reports, 2 to 3 terrorists who were trapped in encounter operations in Shopian have managed to escape. Meanwhile, the encounter operations are said to be underway between the forces in Baramulla. BJP National President JP Nadda visited the Jagannath Temple in Puri this morning. He was accompanied by the Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan. Prime Minister Narendra Modi flagged off the new and upgraded version of the Vande Bharat Express from Gandhinagar as a part of his 2-day visit to his home state. The most awaited semi-high-speed train, Vande Bharat Express, is now ready to a commercial run. It will connect the state capitals of Gujarat and Maharashtra. Day after Gehlot opts out of the Congress presidential race, a decision on his continuation as the Rajasthan Chief Minister is still pending. The decision is yet to come in a day or two, as per sources. A special CBI court in Bhopal convicted 5 people and sentenced them to 7 years of rigorous imprisonment in connection with the Vyapam case. The court also imposed a fine of rupees 10,000 to each convict, while their 2 co-accused were acquitted due to lack of solid evidence. A NEET aspiring girl alleged that her hostel staff member was secretly recording an obscene video of her, post which the member was arrested by the Kalyanpur police and investigation is still underway. A woman gives birth on a hospital floor after allegedly being denied admission into the labour room. Deputy Commissioner Faridkot Harbir Singh said that an inquiry has been ordered and necessary actions will be taken. Post the PFI ban by the centre on Wednesday, alert has been issued by the Home Department for today's prayers in Uttar Pradesh. Instructions have been given to all district captains to remain in fact on high alert, and foot patrolling by police officers and social media monitoring is to be carried out as well.
In a shocking case of medical apathy coming to light from Punjab, poor women gave birth to a daughter in the corridor of the civil hospital in Pathankot on September 27th. This after doctors allegedly refused to carry out the delivery, citing various reasons.
एक इंक्वायरी मार्क कर दी है। इंक्वायरी भी मेरे जेडे असिस्टेंट कमिश्नर जनरल है एंड शी इज बीइंग अ लेडी एंड अ डॉक्टर ऑल्सो। सो उन्होंने क्या है कि सारे भी जितने भी उसके पॉइंट्स हैं पक्ष देखे जाए और मैनू डिटेल जाके मैनू इंक्वायरी करके दस्या जाए।
As per reports, the couple did not bring with them the mandatory reports, following which they could not go ahead with the delivery. The person who was shooting the video can also be heard alleging that the hospital officials refused to admit the pregnant patient. The incident has triggered massive outrage, with the AAP government drawing a lot of flack.
And here's what's making news in the country. Uttarakhand's Kotwar court has demanded the three accused, including Pulkitaria in the Ankita Bhandari murder case, to a 3-day police custody. Tensions arise in the Jamia Millia Islamia University as a shooting incident was reported post a quarrel early this morning. As per reports, one student was shot at, resulting in a head injury and subsequent admission to the Holy Family Hospital post the fight between two groups. Crime team is investigating the matter.
In the second day of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Gujarat visit, he's been received with a warm welcome en route to Ambaji. We are getting pictures of his time in Gujarat. This is a road show. The pictures are of Surat, and we have seen him having a road show in Bhavnagar, and people lining up in Ahmedabad as well. Now, in fact, these are the pictures coming in from Ambaji in North Gujarat, in Banaskantha district. This is an event where Prime Minister would be dedicating projects worth over 7,000 crore rupees to the people of Gujarat. In fact, not just to the people of Gujarat. The connectivity project, for example, from Taranga Hill to Abu Road in South Rajasthan, connects that region and makes pilgrimage that much easier for the people of the region in South Gujarat, in North Gujarat and South Rajasthan. And we are getting pictures of the huge gathering that is there in Ambaji, Palanpur, Banaskantha district, where Prime Minister has just entered. And let's try to go and listen to some net sounds. These are pictures coming in from Ambaji in North Gujarat, where Prime Minister is all set to dedicate projects worth 7,000 crore rupees and more, which includes a railway project, some development works associated with the temple complex. And earlier in the day, we saw Prime Minister flagging off Vande Bharat train from Gandhinagar, the state capital, to Mumbai, and then inaugurating phase 1 of Ahmedabad metro train, which is 32 kilometers long, and from east to west and north to south. And in the pictures now, Prime Minister getting in the venue. This is culmination of a road show in Palanpur, Banaskantha. And Prime Minister will lay foundation stone of the railway project, as I mentioned. Apart from that, he would lay foundation stone of over 45,000 houses to be built under the PM Awas Yojana. And then he would lay foundation stone for the railway line. And then other projects include construction of the runway and associated infrastructure at the Air Force Station Disa. And that's going to be significant because, remember, till this government took over in Delhi and focused on civil aviation, and now we have almost 100 airports across the country. Gujarat had 11 of them, having the highest number of airports for any state. And Disa in North Gujarat, very close to from where Prime Minister is going to get a runway and associated infrastructure, not a full-fledged airport, but still bringing in some element of air connectivity to the region of Gujarat, which for most part of the year remains dry. And Prime Minister is also going to dedicate 62-kilometer long New Palanpur-New Mehsana section of the western dedicated freight corridor and 13-kilometer long New Palanpur-New Chatodar section. And this is essentially aimed at connectivity towards ports like Pipavav and Kandla and Mundra. Priyanka joins us over the phone from Gujarat. Priyanka, so many projects coming in for the benefit of people of North Gujarat. Prime Minister has spent his last 48 hours in Gujarat and giving projects, bestowing those benefits of those projects to the people of Gujarat from Surat in South Gujarat to Bhavnagar in Saurashtra to Ahmedabad in central Gujarat and now North Gujarat. So essentially all areas of Gujarat covered, all regions of Gujarat covered in the last 48 hours by the Prime Minister with all these projects.
Well, yes, definitely, Abhishek, and with the geographical locations as well, the kind of messaging as well that the Prime Minister wanted to give has also been covered, it seems, because he has come to Gujarat for the 2 days. He's culminating his visit in North Gujarat there in Ambaji, and he will, of course, dedicate those projects, as you mentioned earlier as well. But with the kind of traveling that he has done in Gujarat, first starting with Surat and, dedicating the projects there in Surat, about 49,000 crore worth of projects that he has dedicated here in the last 2 days. And we are seeing in Surat as well, then be it Dream City, the Biodiversity Park, or other developmental works and public infrastructure as well. And, the kind of connect that he has had in his rallies over the past 2 days, specifically today as well, if we remember, in Ahmedabad, where he has spoken to the people of Ahmedabad while flagging off the metro. And he has recalled his days as the Chief Minister, and he has spoken to the people of Ahmedabad, talking about how the kind of issues that people face is something that he is here to address when it comes to travel, when it comes to transportation, feasible traveling and saving on the time and money. We saw that very colloquial speech as well, 2 to 3 lines that he had spoken in Gujarati during the time that he was addressing that rally in Ahmedabad after inaugurating the metro, phase 1 project from Kalupur station to the Doordarshan metro station as well. And now we see from Ahmedabad, he has gone to Ambaji, and as you mentioned,